Hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 63, I think. How are we, gentlemen? I'm joined this week by Jim Jam on screen and off screen, Tin Ribs.
The usual Tin Ribs, yeah.
How you doing?
I'm alright.
How you doing?
Okay.
Good. We have just been to play golf together, actually.
Yep.
I say play golf. We were at the driving range. We weren't actually on a course. It's too cold and we're too crap.
Whenever we say we're going to play golf, it snows.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It does, more than
Happens
you'd
a lot.
expect.
Kind of weird, down here.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's strange. That Charity Day's the only one we seem to get away with, and that pisses down. So it's not snow, but it doesn't half rain. Jesus Christ. Do we have a Jim Jam, the Statman stat? Because I've fucking got one.
I know you've got one. I suppose nothing really too major, you know. Southampton are on the least amount of points at the moment, breaking
Joint
Derby's
least.
record.
There was another team at this point of the season that only had 6 points.
Well,
Can't remember who it was. But they did end up with more than Derby.
Yeah.
So there's still hope.
There's hope. There's hope for us yet.
I would like to say that my stat is that Arsenal are now the only team in football history to concede a penalty because of an accidental clash of heads. And that would be because of the one referee that I have moaned about that is fucking anti-Arsenal, and that's Anthony Taylor, the fucking prick.
If it was accidental.
Controversy! If you actually watch it in the slow-mo from the angle, William Saliba goes, heads the ball, and then heads the player. And they give a penalty. The only team in football history, not Premier League history, in football history, we are the only team to concede a penalty that way because of Anthony Taylor. Well done. You're shit at your job and you need to strike
Well, the refs are shit.
So I think that is a good place to... I'm all wound up already, you know.
Yeah.
I'm actually really wound up already.
Come on.
Play the music. Hello and welcome to episode 63 with us jolly human beings here. Myself, Jim Jam and Tin Ribs.
How are we doing?
All full of joys, mate. Full of joys. Can't you fucking tell?
Yeah.
I'm really happy this week.
Yeah.
At least you two boys got a point.
Yeah. We threw it away.
It's different when you're used to getting your ass handed to you every week.
It's easy.
Yeah. We will go into your week. And something that I don't agree with as well, actually. But I would like to start by saying Manchester United have started their cost cutting. And they've done their cost cutting by cutting all monies they give to charity. They've cancelled certain members of staff's credit cards and ability to use the team accounts. And they're basically just screwing everybody over in order to save money. Like, how is that going to save the money? Surely keep the credit cards, keep the charity giving, just get rid of Rashford. His wages alone should be way more than any of that shit that they're saving.
Most
Surely.
likely. Yeah.
Like, they're cost cutting in the wrong places. They're doing the wrong thing. They're screwing their staff over. They're screwing their fans over. Because haven't they put prices up as well till the end of the season or something stupid?
So, from what I heard, they have removed any concessions. So it doesn't matter if you're retired, disabled, under
How
18.
shit is that?
You pay full price. No matter what. You just pay full price.
How
Everybody
shit is
pays.
that? They're cost cutting in the wrong places. They're screwing the wrong people over. It should be the players that are currently screwing the club over that they are now screwing over, and they're not. And it's, man, I don't understand it.
Well, all I'm going to say is the
understand what's
nickname
going
of Scum is very apt.
Oh, no. Have they scored, though? I don't know.
I don't look like it.
No.
We have got the game on in the back. For those that are curious, the second half of the Man United-Liverpool game is currently being played. And we have got it on. So
He must have just looked happy.
if it does react to it, we're not technically doing a watch along, but the game may come up. Liverpool got a corner, that's what you saw.
Yeah. It's just Maserati looked quite happy, so I thought, oh, has he scored?
We watched the highlights again because it was a great game, but we've got Spurs 1, Newcastle 2.
Wonderful.
So
What a start to the game. I mean, I watched it. I
watched it because I like to watch it because Zach always pesters me about the game, and
Yeah.
like if I haven't watched it, I can't then talk to him about it. So, Austin, Spurs keeper,
Thought he did all right.
made his debut after 17 years at the club.
Yep.
And I believe it's 96 substitute bench appearances, but sitting on the bench. He sat on the bench 96 times, I believe, in 17 years,
Think
which
he
is
did
not a
all right.
lot.
Think
And
he
he's
did
just
all
made
right.
his
Third choice.
And he's been one of the better keepers that they've had
Yeah, I was going to
for
say.
quite a while, because I think he did really well.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Mr. Trick
Too
there.
much wrong.
Who else did that? Who else fucked a keeper over for 10 years now? Oh, that was right. Us with Martinez. Yeah, so it has been done before.
Yeah.
Ange Postecoglou, when he was interviewed. Now, have you seen his interview?
I've
No.
seen
The most
some.
fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Have you got anything to say today, Ange? Ahem. If all things were even and balanced, mate, we would have won. Well, what exactly do you mean by that, Ange? What I mean by that is, if all things were equal and balanced, we would have won today. Yeah, but are you talking about the officials? No, what I'm talking about is, if it was all even and balanced today, we would have won. Somebody needed to fucking slap him and go, stop being a cunt and just answer the fucking question. Stop being a dick.
You know what it is? So, as we pointed out on many occasions, players are held accountable for their actions. Coaches and managers are held accountable for their actions. But you know who isn't held accountable for their actions? Referees.
And officials, yeah, I totally
not.
agree.
So,
I totally agree.
Yeah,
if
but
a
the
referee-
officials didn't do anything wrong.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I agree.
you can't call them out. And because you're
No.
not allowed to call them out, because you're not allowed to say anything, because you're not allowed to point out any potential faults, any failures that they've made, even if they make an absolute
Right.
glaring, obvious failure, you're not allowed to call them out on it because they're not allowed to be held accountable.
I get
so,
that.
he's trying to be clever, and by clever I mean being
A
a
twat.
complete fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's trying to do that. You know when people are really thick but they think they're being clever, and then they're quite smug about it?
Yeah,
He's
we all know people like that.
yeah, so he's doing that. He's trying to make that offhanded comment like he's clever, and he's not. He's not clever about what he's doing. He's trying to make an offhanded comment saying that the ref had bias without saying the ref had bias.
Yeah, but don't just repeat the same pointless sentence 5 times.
But that's how he's
Because
doing
that just... it's like... I've had exes that argue like that. You'll bring up a point and they'll use one line, and then you'll bring up a different point and they just fire the same
That's-
line back
Yeah,
at
but
you.
that's 90% of the wokey lefty world.
And it just...
You say something that they don't like, they cling on to a word that is completely irrelevant and just stand there shouting.
Honestly,
it
I
at you.
think he should have been sacked on the spot just for that interview. I think that's how pathetic it was. I think he needs to grow up, man up, and deal with questions a little bit better than just repeating yourself. It's so fucking annoying.
I mean, said
I
incident
don't think
as
Tim
well.
wants us to record this episode. He's
No.
just booted the laptop.
I mean, said incident as well, that it is frustration. I'm sorry. He kicks the ball at Joe Linton from not too far away.
About 4
His
yards
hand
in it.
doesn't move at all. That's
It's
next to
him.
his body.
It's next to him. Yeah, it's fine.
He
There's
then
nothing wrong with
plays
it
the
at all.
ball to somebody else.
It's in a natural
Nothing wrong
position.
with
It's
it
in
at
a
all.
natural position. It's a goal. That's part of the rules. Yeah. If it hadn't hit his hand, it changed the direction, but
Man U are winning. And
Yes,
to be
they
fair,
are.
it was a bloody good finish as well. And it's by the centre-back as far as I can see. I think
Yeah.
Martinez has just lashed one into the roof
Yeah.
of the net.
I mean, that put me off track. So for me, goal all day long, not handball. Don't get
There's
what
no
they're
way that
complaining
was a
about.
handball.
No.
There was not a chance in hell that was a handball. Yes, it clearly hit his hand. But when you have it launched at you from that distance... If that was against Arsenal, I don't think I would complain about that. Because we've had a couple where it's hit somebody's hand, and I'm like, you're not getting out of the way of that no matter what.
Yeah.
So you can accept it. Well, obviously most people can accept it. He clearly can't. But I personally, I would accept that. I'd be okay with that.
I mean, overall, I would say that Newcastle were good for their result. Probably deserved it 2-1. There we go.
I would say Newcastle definitely deserved the result.
Yeah, they did.
Tottenham were absolutely abysmal. Again, Tottenham will show up and they will either be awful or really, really
What a
good.
finish.
But it was a good hit, wasn't it? It's so rare that they're really, really good that like I'm surprised their fans have any fucking hope left in them at the beginning of any season. Like, they need to do something, and they need to do it fast, because they're shocking.
Mm.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, they are shocking.
Yeah, that's true. I did hear one Spurs fan on Talk Sport, and he
Here we
actually
go.
said, like, there was a no. He was like, what do you expect? And it's like, what do you mean? And they're like, what do you want about it? And he's like, we do it all every year. We make out like we're going to win the league, and like, but we don't. We just don't
It's
do
the
anything.
same as
we just
Arsenal,
do
though.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, same as Arsenal. Every season, even the pundits at the minute, Arsenal are going to challenge for the title. Are they fuck? We've still got an assistant manager in charge. And he's proved that, because what did I say a couple of weeks ago? We've shown now that we're a one-man team. Without Odegaard, we're nothing.
Yeah.
Who was on the bench? Odegaard. Our
I
one
don't
man that
understand
keeps us
it.
going, the one man that keeps us ticking, he benched him. To play who? His fucking mate Marino, who, by the way, was shit.
I thought he dropped him for players mate Jorginho to make him captain.
What, either fucking way? It's like, just don't play them. They're not good enough. Jorginho's a good backup, but don't start him when he's there. And Marino, he needs to fuck off back to where he came from, because he's more infuriating than fucking Xhaka. No, I would not rather have Xhaka back, but I don't think Marino should be on the pitch. Not at all. And Sterling, Jesus, and fucking Zinchenko shouldn't be anywhere near. I don't give a fuck how many he scored in the last two games. Both, by the way, against fucking Crystal Palace. Right, it took 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri to score a goal. Who's playing out of position because he doesn't play in Saka's position. He actually plays in Odegaard's position. Or Marino's, who was shit. Anyway, we might as well go into the Arsenal game now. I've already started crying about it. So, yeah, we got Arsenal 1, Brighton 1, which should have been a walkover for Arsenal. Nwaneri got the first goal of the game. Good finish. Well played. Arsenal were well on top at that point. Everyone that I've seen online was banging on about Raya's save where he clawed it off the line.
Yeah.
See what happened before that? And I mean directly before that. Did you see what happened directly before that, Tin?
No.
You?
No, I think
I'll tell you what
started watching
happened.
The game after.
A really basic shot straight at David Raya, who fumbles it. It goes over the top of his gloves, and that's why he had to scramble back to claw it out the net. So all these people going, that was a great save. That was an amazing save. Oh, David Raya was so good. No, because all he had to do was just catch a basic ball that was going straight to his face. And he fluffed it and fumbled it, and that's why it nearly went in the net. So don't be telling me that Raya made a fucking great save, because he didn't. He recovered a stupid mistake. Didn't make a great save. There's different things. A great save's very different from recovering your mess. So, yeah, that's mine. Complete bitch. Again, only team in history to concede a penalty for an accidental clash of heads in the area, but then it was Anthony Taylor, and he has been a prick to Arsenal all season this season.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's like all the pundits after the game are all saying Stonewall penalty.
And it clearly wasn't. I'm sorry, but it wasn't.
I guess the thing is now they've set a precedent now.
Any clash of heads in the area is a penalty. Any
Yeah.
clash of heads in the area now is a penalty. How do you know that Saliba initiated that? You don't. It's just a clash of heads. Any time heads meet in the area, penalty. But you know it's not going to happen because people don't get sent off for kicking the ball away. Trossard does, and Rice does. Nobody else does. Because they don't get booked for it anymore. There's so many things, and I don't want to be that guy, but there's so many things going against Arsenal this season. Starting with the fucking manager, by the way, which is the owner's fucking fault. That was nothing to do with officials. Because I don't know if I've mentioned it, but Arteta's shit.
Well, it's like this. I mean, you go on about your ones. Crystal Palace's goal against Southampton, their first goal, is a foul on Ramsdale. All day long. Everybody said it's a foul on Ramsdale.
I actually agree with that. Tin Ribs, do you want to chime in?
Even Crystal Palace manager said it's a foul
It is.
everywhere in Europe.
I think 100% that's a foul on Ramsdale.
It is.
There's no two ways about it. There's not a doubt in my mind. But also, once they went 1-0 up, I actually think, football-wise, Southampton had the better of that game
Yeah.
for a long period. But when you guys get into the last third, clueless.
It's because we were 1-0 up. We hadn't got a clue what to do at 1-0 up. We've not been there.
Absolutely clueless when you're in the last
Yeah.
third of the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Oh, my word.
what goes
That's
wrong.
a good finish.
Who was that? Gakpo.
Gakpo.
So it's now 1-1 between Liverpool and United.
Yeah.
And Gakpo's just scored, apparently, a great goal, but I didn't see it. Yeah, you guys are absolutely out of ideas in the last third of the pitch. Because their football was great. You played some really good football, some nice passing moves. You were getting the ball around, you were sweeping it left to right, doing the right thing, making the opposition work. As soon as you get to a certain point, all your players just go like... It's like they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's really weird.
It might be offside.
Oh dear.
Oh, I
Oh,
hope
no.
That would be a shame.
No,
I
different
hope
player.
so. No, I hope so.
No, I think it was a different
Call
player.
it offside anyway.
No.
I'm okay with it. It's Liverpool. Nobody wants them to score. Yeah, we're just looking at... I think he is onside, actually.
Yeah, it was another player that was off. I was hoping he was going to play it to him.
That was disappointing. Because, you know,
He
as you all know,
completely did him for a kipper there. And
we're
and curled
massive
it
fans
into
of
the
Liverpool
top
on this
corner.
podcast. So we're really pleased
Yeah.
to see them equalise. We're really happy. Oh, and there's Jota celebrating on the sideline. You're not even in the team, mate. Sit your fucking ass down. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Right,
yeah.
so next game. Ye olde Man City. Man City 4, West Ham 1. West Ham were poor. Really poor.
Yeah.
I think West Ham had chances,
Yeah.
and they should have done better with them, but they turned into Southampton for the day and decided they didn't want to hit a cow's arse. So yeah, they did have a couple of chances, but they made it very easy for City at the back, I think.
Yeah.
The defending was quite poor, the marking was quite poor. I think they quite honestly probably deserve to get a bit of a thrashing, to be honest. As harsh as that may sound, it is what it is. What are you going to do? And then your guys, Saints 0, Brentford 5. Honestly, I think your guys, after they scored the third, I think you guys just give up. I think you just completely give up.
Yeah.
And it was clear by what was going on the pitch that you just had no interest in what was going on at all. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because, you know, I'd like to see you guys escape now. Just because it would be one of the greatest escapes ever. I would like to see Saints escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to see it. I'm not going to lie. I'm one that would like to see you survive now because of how shit the first half of the season's been. What about you? You probably wouldn't, would you? You don't give a shit. No. Didn't think so. Next game,
And
Aston
I
Villa.
think we need to go down.
I just want to add the misery that I had to go through at the end of last season. I want to see that.
Yeah, but that was my fault for brutalising you. That wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Oh, piss off when we walked it. You come in with Joe. Hey, look at we won. Even though they were the shittest team on the pitch.
Oh, I think your start that day was Southampton in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
If I remember rightly,
So
yeah.
I want to
actually,
see
yeah.
that fucking misery.
Yeah,
When we
to
go,
be fair.
start of the day. Jim Jam, what's the start? We're the shittest team in Premier League history and we've gone to the Championship.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
Preempting your stat for the end of the season here.
It's probably going to happen at this rate.
It's probably accurate.
That's upsetting for you. I don't care because I'm not a Saints fan, but it's upsetting for you.
I mean, I think there's just too much wrong at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree.
I did say we weren't ready.
I would agree.
I was right.
You were right, but I mean, it's like you could still put some effort in, even if your team's not the best. Do you know what I mean?
think we've just been really... we've been unlucky as well. You know, some of the VAR decisions that have gone against us have been really bad.
To be fair, there has been a couple that
And-
even I remember.
And the problem is, it's like...
I mean, not
Wolves
enough to-
complained a lot last season, but they weren't in the position that we are, and we're on 6 points, whereas these decisions have probably cost us a good, maybe
Well, at least another 6.
at least 6, maybe even 10.
Mm.
And at 16 points, we're still battling relegation, but we're actually
what
in the
does the
battle.
table look like now? What do we look like at the bottom of the table? Obviously, we know. Saints are screwed.
Yeah, with 6 points. But yeah, so the table looks a lot like misery. 6 points Southampton, 14 points Leicester, 16 points Ipswich, 16 points Wolves, 17
So yeah,
points
depending on
Everton.
your goal difference, you're level to getting out of the
So
relegation.
you know, some of
really,
them
aren't you?
decisions that maybe them 10 points, we're on 16. You know, some of them like Wolves may not have won that game because obviously that man in goal that got disallowed, so they might be on less points. Leicester, they'd be on less points because we should have beat them with a penalty and stuff like that. So you look at it and the table looks different without them decisions. But you know, the apologies that we've got from the FA for incorrect decisions, that means nothing when we've get relegated.
Well, if you're losing hundreds of millions of pounds, then apologies really don't mean that much.
You know, Wolves are frustrated because they lost money, but they stayed in the Premier League. We're going to get relegated and
lose
we're
money
going
and
to lose a hell of a
lose
lot
status.
more. So,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's not good. Speaking of Leicester, Aston Villa 2, Leicester 1.
yeah.
Leicester are terrible. They are not looking good at all. And I can see Saints and Leicester comfortably getting relegated at this point. I think there's only one spot up for grabs. And I'm not sure Ipswich are going to remain in it.
Well, I'm still hoping the Scum make it.
United.
Well, they're in a relegation battle according to their manager.
I mean, to be fair, they probably are in a
I mean,
relegation battle.
Come
but
on,
they are-
how good would that be? Old Trafford's falling apart. They get relegated. They're conning their fans. It just
Can't
it's
argue with
beautiful.
any of that.
I don't know. I think if they get relegated, I think they implode.
Oh,
I think the financial implications would probably be too big.
Yeah, can we not get me turned on air? That would be a really bad thing to do.
That I could have gone the rest of my life without hearing, by the way.
But no, seriously, how amazing would it be for Man United to go down?
It'd be funny.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I'm not going to lie that I'd enjoy it. I can't lie. I
There
would
aren't
enjoy
many
it.
people who wouldn't.
No, you're probably right, actually.
The thing that worries me now is what if... I know Man City have now won 2 in a row. What if Man City win every game from now till the end of the season?
Which could be done.
How far off are we from winning the title if that happens? With the other teams and the way that they're dropping points.
Well, in all fairness, I think a lot of it will come down to the pure fact of...
I think they are
Can
too
we-
far away.
Yeah. Well, hang on. So they're 12 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
So even if they win every single game, Liverpool have still got to drop 12 points. Obviously, they would lose 3 to Man City. So
Yeah.
they've got to drop another 9 points. If they've got to drop another 9 points, that's quite a lot to drop. It doesn't sound that much. It's 3 wins. But when you start looking into it realistically, that's 9 losses.
Yeah. It's very, very unlikely that Man City are they're gonna struggle to get in the
I don't
top
think they can do
4.
I don't think they'll do it.
Realistically, they're gonna struggle to get top 4, but there's just that part of me that thinks, what if
no,
they
I mean, they're
actually
only- they're
did
only-
go from now till the end of the season and won
They're only
every
2 points
single
behind
game?
Chelsea.
Who, City?
Yeah.
They're only 2 points behind Chelsea.
I don't
Chelsea
think
is 4th.
City are going to go to the end of the season and win every single game. I don't think they've got it in them anymore.
I think
No.
City get
I
back into
certainly
the top
don't
4.
think they've got it in them without Rodri. Not a chance.
City finish in top 4. Easy.
Yeah, but I don't think they've got what it... Sorry. I don't think they've got what it takes to win every single game from now to the end of the season without Rodri.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
think they're capable of it.
No, but the question was if they did.
They
Now-
still won't win the league. Not from where they are. They're too far behind.
12 points.
That's a lot.
But that's my
It is
point.
a lot.
But I'm
That's
saying
a
12
lot.
points is. However, they're only 6 points behind second
Oh.
place. So
Where's
they
he going?
they could.
It looks like he's booking out one of the gaffers.
Or is it a red card
No, it's
Oh no, we're checking VAR.
for
Who's it for?
penalty?
I think it's for Liverpool, so I don't think it was. I think I think that's fine.
Yeah, but it's at Anfield, so they'll give it.
That's true. It is at Anfield.
So Man City will finish top 4.
He's giving it.
He's give it.
I absolutely, wholeheartedly think they'll finish top 4.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I can see City finishing top.
Let's be honest. Let's look at the table right now. Forest are absolutely tearing it up. Will Forest maintain it?
I think they will.
I don't know.
I think they will.
I hope they do.
I think they will. I think that.
But
I'd like to see them maintain it as well.
out of the teams in the top 4, I would say Chelsea are the least likely to remain. They're very inconsistent.
I'd agree.
I think Newcastle will
They've
pip
been
Chelsea.
fucking dire lately as well. Chelsea have.
Yeah, I think Newcastle will be above Chelsea. Newcastle are on great form.
I can see
Chelsea are 50-50, but their manager's not as good as people think. He's a bit of a book.
I can get behind that.
We saw him buckle under pressure at Leicester. Everyone says, "Oh yeah, but they won the league." They completely capitulated at one point. The only reason Leicester won the league was because we bottled it better than they did. The league was ours to win.
Better than they did.
Oh, absolutely.
Jesus.
The league was ours to win with about 8 games to go. Admittedly, we had 3 games where I stated to you that the referees were against us, and there was 3 very dodgy decisions, and even you admitted they weren't exactly...
Oh, they were fine.
Yeah.
They were fine. They were fucked up, but they were fine.
Yeah. But like I said, the FA need us in the Championship. We generate way too much money for them. We genuinely do. Which was why I think we should trade with United, because United would still generate quite a lot of money for the Championship, especially with that massive skip. I mean,
skip.
Stadium.
Old Trashford.
Old Trashford, yeah.
Yeah.
So we bottled it last season, and we're the only reason the only reason Leicester won that league was because we bottled it, not because the manager's any good.
Yeah.
He's an arrogant prick. And I loved the fact that he came to Ellen Road like, oh, it's just another game, and then we spanked him 3-0. Just another game, dickhead. But no, he's not very good. So Chelsea will drop off, because without Palmer, they're nothing.
Even with Palmer, they're not doing great at the moment.
Already.
Yeah, Liverpool are 2-1 up, by the way.
I know.
What I'm saying is...
I'm just letting the listeners know.
Yeah.
Palmer,
I mean, they already know the full-time result.
As well.
So if Palmer doesn't have a good game, Chelsea don't do very well.
No, I agree.
So I can't see Chelsea staying up. I think Newcastle will then pip up. So the question then is...
By staying up, just to clarify, by staying up, he means staying up in the top 4, not staying up in the Premier League. Before anyone starts messaging us and go, obviously they're going to stay up. He knows he just on about top 4. So I just
he's not going to put that part in this
just
clip.
thought I'd clarify that
when he puts that short in, he's going to only put you saying Chelsea are going to...
The whole clip is just going to be, I don't think Chelsea will stay up.
Yeah. So with that said, I think Chelsea will drop. Newcastle will go above them. Will Man City, to get in the top 4, still have to go ahead of those 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
But my question is, do Forest maintain enough of a charge to stay above Man City? You think?
Yeah,
they can
100%.
do, as long as they beat all the teams that they need to beat.
I think they will, honestly, because I think they're brilliant.
They can lose some games.
And I think they're a brilliant team.
Yeah.
They may not have outstanding individuals, albeit Chris Wood's very good and Morgan Gibbs-White is brilliant. But other than them two, they haven't got standout players, but they've got a great team. They remind me a lot of Leicester. They remind me a lot of Leicester and Wales when Wales hit the Euros.
What's their right back's name?
Who are we about?
Anya or something.
Yeah,
Oh, Forrest. Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah.
I think he's
brilliant.
Yeah.
He is really good.
So,
he is really good. But the last Forest right back that I said was going to be amazing went to Spurs and turned out to be shit. So I'm not going to praise any more Forest
anyone who
players.
goes to Spurs seems to just get ruined.
Yes, Archie Gray being one of them. It still annoys me, that we didn't try and sign Archie Gray, and now we're playing Jorginho as a fucking DM.
So, as things stand, Man United are 6 points off relegation.
7. Oh no, 6 because they are losing. Yeah, they're losing again. Sorry, my head was still on 1-1. It's not. It's Liverpool 2, Man United 1.
So,
which incidentally has got me more fantasy points because what's his name? Mo Salah's just scored a penalty, so he's got me some more points. But still disappointed about it because obviously I don't want Liverpool to win. In fact, none of us want Liverpool to win, but we also hate United, so it's a difficult day for us today. Difficult day. So, yeah, thoughts with us. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave the first part there. We're going to go to a break, and we shall be back with you, beautiful, beautiful people, very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. We normally play Who Am I Now, but we're going to skip that this week. And we'll bring that back next week because we're only doing 2 parts this week. We're going to go back to our regular 3-part series next week. And we'll bring back Who Am I then. We've just finished watching Liverpool versus Man United, which was a glorious 2-2 draw, but should have.
Harry Maguire!
Harry Maguire!
It should have been a 3-2 win to Man United because right at the death, Xerxes, who, by the way, I criticised as he was coming on the pitch, and then played an absolute blinder and made one of the best defensive tackles I've seen
Maybe
in years.
he's playing in the wrong position.
I reckon he is, He should be a DM by the look of what he was doing there.
Yeah.
But my God, that tackle was superb. He played it across anyway. And Maguire from
8 yards.
13 yards. I think he was just past the penalty spot. So it was probably about 13 yards out. Blazed it into orbit as opposed to just putting his foot on it and getting on target. But I guess that's the difference between a striker and a defender. So it was disappointing United didn't win, but it was pleasing that Liverpool didn't win as well. Not from obviously Arsenal's point of view because we've still got Arteta in charge, so we wouldn't win if somebody handed us the fucking trophy. No doubt he'd drop it. So how do you feel about your season so far, and how do you think it's going? How do you feel? Where do you think you're going to be? Do you think you're going to get promoted?
Yes, I think we're going to get promoted. However...
He said that last year.
Yeah.
He said they were going to win the league.
He did say that.
And we
All
literally
year.
almost did. That's the annoying thing. No. So one of my big issues over the last couple of weeks has been a lot of people getting on Meslier's back, and I've sort of defended him.
Not this week.
I ain't. There's no way I'm defending him this week.
Yeah, we know that because we're on the end of your messages.
Yeah, he cost us that game against Hull.
I was about to slag him off then when he said, everyone's been slagging off Meslier. I was about to jump on him. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And then you turned it round and you
But the fact-
admitted.
Yeah. Well, normally I defend him, but I can't defend him this week. He was left wandering around in no man's land for the first goal.
Oops.
The second goal, he's literally... Now, if the ball's high and you can't catch it, you palm it away from goal.
Or tip it over for a corner.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
Yeah, so away
Personally,
from the goal.
I'd
yeah,
just
but what I
knock
mean
it
is
back over.
over is away from the goal. It's not in the goal area.
Yeah.
He has jumped up, so his hands are above the crossbar in order to pat the ball back into play
Yeah.
right in front of him and right in front of a striker.
Yeah.
What the Jesus Christ was he doing?
He was being nice to Hull.
He was being very fucking nice.
The
to
problem
Hull.
was we had
The thing
10
is
minutes
when
to go.
when you slagged him off by message, I'm like, I bet he's been a bit harsh there. And he made us watch the highlights before we started the podcast, so we'd know what he was on about.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much defence for that.
Here's
I'll be
another
honest.
question for you, though. Because I made a point to me when I was messaging you. Did Darryl bet on Leeds?
I don't know.
You don't know.
We need to ask.
I know. I thought he might have asked.
If he
during
did,
this
I
time.
won't be too happy with him. But
I'll send him a message and see if we can get an answer before the end
before
of the
the
pod.
end of the pod.
But yeah, so for me, on the first goal, he's left in no man's land. On the second goal, he's had an absolute mare. He either should have left it or pushed it up. What he's done, I don't know. But at that point, we were in comfortable control of the game. We're 3-1 up. With 10 minutes to go, he does that. And Hull just hammered us. And I said, they will get the point now. They will get a draw from this. And sure enough, with continued pressure, they send a cross in. And we all know that Flapper is not very good on crosses.
Flapper.
So what does he do? He
Went for a ball that the
went for
defender
a ball.
clearly...
He was getting nowhere near.
No.
Didn't shout. The defender heads it clear, which then leaves Flapper completely out of position,
To get set.
and he's not set, and then the ball just runs past him. Yes, he sees it a bit late, but what's he doing?
No. It wasn't his best. And that comes after a 1-1 draw against Blackburn as well on New Year's
Day. It also comes after the 2-1 win. Sorry, the 2-2 draw with Sunderland when he overstepped and let the ball pass him at the last minute. He has cost us a lot of points this season, and I have defended him and defended him and defended him, but I can't now. And I'm hoping...
Yeah, I mean, that... Even for me, and I'm like, I think Tim's been a bit harsh there. Even for me, I watched that and thought, that was fucking dreadful.
I think Darlow needs to go in goals for a few games. That's a personal opinion that seems to be quite broad from the Leeds fan base, but we've got a Welsh international who's played really well on the international stage. He's not playing for us, which is a shame, because I actually really rate Carl Darlow. He might not have those world-class saves that Meslier once in a blue moon pulls out of his arse, but I just think having a more stable goalkeeper, someone who's...
The one
do you think that's what he's going to be then? Is
Darlow? Yes.
Do you think Darlow's going to be a more stable or more regular?
Yeah. I think his distribution's better. I think his handling is better. His control of the area is definitely better, and he doesn't flap so much.
So you cash in on Meslier if somebody came in for him.
I quite like
Well,
Meslier.
there's two clubs linked with him at the moment, and I've got a feeling if the money comes in the January transfer, we will cash in. And we've been linked with two goalkeepers. One I've never heard of. Don't know who he is, but apparently we've been interested for a while. And the other one is Keller.
I just don't see Keller this season going when is sort of still playing for Liverpool-ish, and he's getting his chance. But I think he does need to move on, especially with Liverpool
Needs to move on.
buying the Georgian keeper as Alisson's.
I think they've bought him to prepare
for Keller.
For Keller going.
He's too good to be sitting on the bench.
He's a good keeper, isn't he? Really is a good keeper.
I really rate him. And
well, I'm not sure if he'll lower his standards to go to Leeds.
That's the problem. Would he do that? Because
I think he signs for him in the summer when they get promoted.
I think he signs for him in January if they go for him, because if Leeds say, look, if you join us, you've got guaranteed first team football. He's at a team that are basically top of the league.
Would you want to loan him, or would you want to make it permanent straight away?
If you loan him with a
option to buy,
a guarantee to buy at the end of the season,
like Raya,
basically,
like Taylor Harwood-Bellis,
and that,
I'll take it.
Then it wouldn't be so bad, because you go, well, okay, we'll loan him for 6 months, but at the end of this 6 months, we have to buy him for such and such.
Yeah.
And then you're guaranteed to get him at the end of the season. Not an option to buy, but a definite, you have to buy him. I'd take that as well. I think that would be quite good. Because if you pay enough of a loan for him, it'll lower the transfer fee anyway in the summer. Yeah. So it might make him actually more affordable for you if you do it that way.
There's going to be a good keeper up for sale in the summer anyway.
Why do you want Raya?
Because I've got no doubt that Ramsdale's got a relegation clause in his contract.
He will. He'll definitely have one.
I've had a response.
He did, didn't he?
Well, it's got a few laughing faces on it. He's put, yes, I did. I think I need to stop now, though. Tin Ribs isn't happy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, definitely not happy.
Darryl did bet on you. Now you know why you didn't win. Because every time he bets on you,
we fuck it up.
You mess up, yeah. And so what happens? So, yeah, carry on, Darryl. Keep it up.
But no.
Oh, remind me at the end. I need to give you that shirt, by the way. Totally not podcast related. And
yes,
probably shouldn't have shouted that over the airways. Yeah, we've mentioned it a couple of times. Though Darryl's got a football team that he runs with young kids.
Yes.
And my son has recently joined through Darryl's kindness. And Zach went to play for them a few weeks ago. And we still have the football shirt. So I told Darryl I would wash it and give it Tin Ribs. And I keep forgetting to give it Tin Ribs. So because it entered my mind, even though we're recording, I figured I'd shout it out
to the world,
for everyone to know. Because the guys in Singapore, I'm sure, are desperate to know what's going on with Zach and Darryl's football team.
Yeah.
But if you do want updates, I'm quite happy to give them.
I think we'll still win the league. I do think we are the best team in the league. And when you actually look at our players, we really, we should.
You should be.
We should be winning the league.
Yeah, you probably should, to be fair.
So hopefully we've got the right management, we've got the right ownership, we've got the right.
How often do football teams actually live up to their expectations, though? Because it's not very often, is it?
No, but when you look at
and you are doing that at the minute,
yeah,
so you can't really ask for much more, apart from the odd error. And Meslier has not made a lot of mistakes, has he? He's just. You're saying he has made a lot of mistakes.
He's made a few. I've backed him on a few of them. They've sort of been like, but
I mean, I'd
but
call
now
it
you're
now.
just like, no,
you will get promoted this season. I'm like 99% sure that you will.
Do you want to bet
Do
on
you
it?
think your team?
I'm going to get Daryl to bet on it.
Yeah. Do you think your team currently can survive in the Premier League?
We'd need a few strengthening players.
I'm not sure you would. I think you'd be able to survive as you. It wouldn't be comfortable.
I mean, Bamford is proven in the Premier League.
I will fucking slap you.
Proven to be shit.
No, he did all right in the Premier League. He's been shit in the Championship. He scored a few goals in the Premier League.
19 goals, didn't
Do you want Jesus?
No.
He scores less than Bamford.
No.
We're meant to be title challengers.
Yeah. So
I think definitely there's a few areas that
we need a left back.
Improvement.
That would be the first. The screaming glaring ones for me is we'd need a number 10. Someone who's very creative. We definitely need a left back. Those two are like the absolute must. There's a lot of rumours that Stroke's on his way out. Stroke is injured, but that was like all of a sudden he's gone from playing.
That was not convincing at all the way you said that. By the way,
I
wasn't at all convincing. He's injured.
So he got
transfer protection injury.
Yeah, that's my thinking because all of a sudden was it Tottenham and Palace? I want to say.
Oh well, if he gets to Tottenham, his career's
I think it's
over.
Tottenham and Palace are interested, and then all of a sudden we hit the new year, and he's injured. And I'm sort of like...
He went like that, by the way.
Yeah.
Air quotes. Injured.
So,
like he doesn't believe it.
I'm not sure he's going to be with us much longer, which is a shame because Stroke and Rodon are a really good team. And if we did go up, I think Rodon's good enough. I think Stroke's good enough. I think Ampadu's good enough. I will put my money on Tanaka being good enough for the Premier League.
He seems really good to him, doesn't he?
Tanaka,
I haven't seen a lot of
phenomenal.
him. But when I have
He
seen
had
him...
one off game so far.
Yeah, when I have watched him, he has seemed as though he's on it all the time.
Yeah.
And
I just don't know if any of the strikers are...
This is what I was about to say. Dan James...
Yeah, but look at it. Arsenal have got no fucking good strikers.
has done it
He's
at
done
that
it,
level.
and I think Dan James is good enough to be part of the team.
You think he might be a sub player or coming or playing 60 minutes?
If Ramazani starts playing better, because he was really good prior to his injury, then he's come back and he's sort of looked a bit 50-50. But then Anonto's got to get better.
Yeah.
Ramazani's got to get better. Pirro is at this
He
moment
needs to
looking
score
good,
early.
but yeah,
He needs an early Premier League goal. Because I think that makes a big difference. Because you look at a player like, let's say, Delap at Ipswich.
Yeah.
Struggled in the Championship a little bit. Didn't really set it alight. But obviously, because he got an early goal at Ipswich, he scored a fair few. And now he's been like, why have Man City sold him? He's showing his quality now in there. So basically, if he gets a chance, he can put it away. Smodix, he's got his goals early in there. Unfortunately, like the Southampton ones that we've signed, they've not scored the goals early, and now they're really struggling now because the longer it goes, the harder it gets.
And
so
I
think
because
Pirro scores early in the Premier League in the first couple games. I think he might score 10 goals for you in the season.
But it's like
I don't see many more than 10, but
Joseph started the season, like pre-season, he was amazing. And then we played him in our first game, and it was like he was trying too hard. And then it's almost got into his head now, and he can't get a goal, or if he does, he gets like one right at the death from a substitution point. But then when he gets his start, he's trying too hard, and it's like it's become this thing now for him, and it's basically made him go from the best striker in the club to not really being in the question of do I start or not.
he's in the Bamford.
He's still better than Bamford. I mean, let's not go quite that low. But I just think that if we go up, we need to do like what we did last time we went up. We bought in Rodrigo. We bought in Rafinha. We bought in... Okay, at the time he looked like a good signing and he wasn't. But we bought in Llorente, we bought in Robin Koch. We bought in these players who were good strengthening players.
Haven't you got that guy from Spurs? Solomon.
Yeah,
What's he like?
I mean,
know.
he's getting highly rated on there, and I think he was part of a good goal that you scored against.
Well, he looks like he works hard.
He does work hard.
It was.
But he's a bit frustrating.
Again, I haven't seen a great amount of Leeds
He's a good
games this
player.
season, but it looks like he works his
You
arse
beat
off, to be honest.
did you beat your team 1-0 late on, like 80th minute or something? Can't think. It was before the Blackburn
I'm glad you
game.
remember.
Yeah, when he came on and lashed it into the roof of the net.
I wasn't thinking that one. I'm not sure if he scored. I think it was Aronson that scored, but Solomon played a big part of it with his passing.
Oh no, that goal,
passing
yes,
goal, which was a very good goal, which we didn't talk about.
No, well, we don't really talk
great
about
build-up
Championship.
play.
But it was the Derby goal.
Yes,
It was the Derby
yeah.
goal. And
It was a
Aronson's run was
great
absolute-
build-up. Yeah.
So Aronson's another player I wanted to bring up. He's our number 10 at the moment, and he's been absolutely brilliant. Considering he came over, took a lot of flack for not being good enough. Then he immediately jumped ship when we went down. Now, obviously, we let a lot of players go on loan because we needed to for financial reasons. We even let players we didn't want to let go because of financial reasons.
Sometimes you've got no choice.
No, he didn't do particularly great back out on loan. But when he came back, he dug his heels in straight away and said, I am staying. To a mixed reaction from the fans. But he made it very clear, the second he came back, I am staying.
See, I think
I don't think you were too pleased straight away, weren't you? So he's
Correct.
earned it back from you.
Absolutely. I wasn't happy when he first came back and it was like, I'm staying. It's like, no, you didn't want to stay before. But
Did he, or was he pushed?
I don't know.
Because it's starting to sound like if he's come back and he's gone,
It's a bit like the
I'm
Dan-
just staying now.
It's
I
a
don't
bit
care.
like it's a bit like the
It's-
Dan James thing.
Yeah, it
Like
sounds
in
like
the
he's
Premier
been
League, he kept
pushed
getting
out
pushed
rather
out.
than
Yeah.
he actually wanted to go. And that, for me, I
Yeah,
want
when
players like that on
Dan
my
James
club.
when we forced him to Fulham and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm starting to think that maybe he did get forced out the door a little bit for financial reasons, maybe. But he stuck around. He scored the equaliser against Pompey, became a bit of a
Yeah.
hero, and then within 2 minutes,
I know, missed
an
didn't he?
absolute sitter
Yes.
and became the villain again.
I saw the highlights of that.
But over the
It was a bad
season,
miss.
over the season, he's really winning the fans over, and he does. He puts his heart and soul into every game. He's good championship level, exceptional championship level. I'm not sure he's the number 10 for Premiership level. He's a good squad player.
I mean, he might surprise you.
He might do. But we've got a lot of players who, in the Championship, are good. I'm not sure they'll cut it at the Premier League. I think we need, if we do go up, we need a new goalkeeper. Unless we get Kelleher. And if we get Kelleher now, then, yeah, we're good.
You sat.
We need a left back.
I mean, who are you thinking for left back then? The only one I can think of that would probably do you the world of good, I don't think would join you because he wants to go back to Celtic, and that's Tierney.
Tierney would be amazing.
I think Tierney would be a great signing for Leeds.
Amazing.
Personally, I love him at Arsenal, but he just can't stay
There's a
fit.
couple of left backs that are out there. And obviously, Ipswich have got Leif Davis, ex-Leeds lad.
If
But
they go down,
the
they
problem-
could stay up.
Yeah, but the more problem with Leif Davis is I do have that soft spot for him. But he's so big into his clangers.
Do you take Kyle Walker-Peters?
So big.
Hell yes.
You say like he's so
'Cause
big
he's
into his
obviously
clangers,
gonna
like
be
he
on a
does it
free
intentionally.
transfer
Yeah.
in the summer
I'd take Carl Walker-Peters in a heartbeat.
because he plays so well at left back and he can play right back as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, Bogle
So
has been really good for us.
Yeah.
So I can't really... And he was really good at
No,
Sheffield
you
United
carry on
last season.
slagging him off, saying you definitely need a new fullback.
But we do need a left back. We massively need a left back. I think we need a number 10.
I think Kyle Walker-Peters would be a brilliant signing for you.
I think he would. I think bigger suitors will come in. And by bigger suitors, I don't mean bigger clubs. I mean teams that are already established in the Premier League.
It depends on where he wants to live as well, I think.
That has a lot to do because like
Yeah.
Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham will sign players that Liverpool and United want simply because
It's
they're
London.
London.
Now,
Yeah.
now, I know we talked a lot about him, and obviously he left in the summer. Both of you weren't happy about it, but he's now playing regularly now for Spurs. Archie Gray at centre back,
Waste.
but I don't think he's doing too bad in that position at the moment.
That's because he's very versatile,
Yeah,
but it's a waste. He's a fantastic DM.
yeah.
I would...
Does he get stuck there now at Tottenham?
I think.
Does he ever get
no.
to play that CDM role for Spurs? Or
Not
No.
what Postecoglou
Archie Gray?
Not
Or,
what
No, he's a centre back, isn't he?
I know he's a centre back now,
No. I think that's where he's just.
and now he's destined to be.
See, now
there
for me at Arsenal, I would have him as a DM anyway. I'd have him playing above Partey and above Jorginho.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'd have me fucking Nan playing above Marino because he's fucking useless. But for me, if we had Archie Gray DM, Declan Rice on the left, Odegaard on the right hand side, that's a cracking midfield.
Well,
that is.
I think he's. It's good for him to get some minutes now. I think he's good for England.
Why? Why is him playing centre back good for England?
No, it's not. Him playing
That's my point.
CDM
No,
would
I
be
think
good.
him playing CDM would be better for England, but him playing regularly football in the Premier League now is doing him good for England because he's
It
getting
is,
used
but
to the pace
I
of
just
Premier
think
League. And if he's going to play that CDM role, because he's playing that far back, when he's got that freedom, I think only his anticipation and his tackling is only going to improve.
I don't
he
think
goes
it's going to do him
further
any
up.
harm learning to play.
No, I think it's very smart because a CDM does have to play.
I'm not sure if it's smart because I
centre-back
don't think
sometimes.
Postecoglou's got a smart bone in his fucking body. I think the guy's clueless. But I think he's doing it because he's forced to do it. It just inadvertently means it's helping.
Because I think if you
It's
get a
helping
corner,
Gray out because it's
Archie
teaching
Gray
him
stays back.
that centre back as well.
I don't see Archie Gray as a player that's going to dominate in the box.
No, he's going to
To
sit
score-
back on
he's going to
corners
be a
and stuff.
sit back. So
your
that's where I
two
think,
centre backs are going to go up, and he's
And
going
he's
to play
gonna-
centre back while you're
Yeah.
attacking.
And
a
if you
corner.
play a back four, obviously you sit in at centre back as a CDM when you drop into a back five, don't you? When you defend, in theory, if you're doing it properly.
yeah,
And him doing a lot of this role now, although he's forced to, I think it's brilliant for him. I think it'll do him an absolute
I
world
think
of good.
any minutes in the Premier League is going to do him good, but I would prefer to see him playing his position.
I just worry if Van der Ven and Romero come back, he then
he's
gets
on the
dropped
bench.
to the bench.
He's on the bench.
and he
then.
doesn't
There's
even
no way
get
he's getting on the pitch.
and he doesn't even
Because
get the CDM spot.
Postecoglou's not playing him as a CDM, so he clearly doesn't see him as a first choice CDM. And again, it's going to be another
But
player.
then does he then get frustrated?
Of course he does.
Because he's
Wouldn't
been
you if
playing
you were-
week in,
Wouldn't
week
you
out.
if you went somewhere and all of a sudden you just sat on the bench again?
Yeah.
You'd be pissed off and all, because I know I would. Like, okay, you've gone to stand
Absolutely.
in, but you've played well. You've
Yeah.
done your job. It's not fucking Archie Gray's fault that Tottenham are getting spanked every week. They're just awful, like absolutely awful. They're that bad that it's actually not fun taking the piss out of them anymore because it's just expected that they're going to get hammered.
Yeah.
It's
Does Ange
taken all
get
the fun
sacked?
out of it.
Does Ange get sacked?
No, because Daniel Levy's all right with it. Because he's a fucking weirdo. I don't think Levy actually owns the club, does he? He's
Do you
just in
think
that
he
position
just-
to pull the purse strings.
Do you think they just hold on and hope that things change?
Of course they do. Because
Or
it saves money. If they sack Postecoglou, it's going to cost them a fortune.
Or as long as if they're in Europe of some kind, that's enough because obviously they're more about putting concerts on at the stadium, etc. Because
Oh God, they're just awful, aren't they? They are the
because they
worst.
get so much more money from selling out a football
Well, even their
game
stadium's
to selling
cursed,
out
isn't
a Taylor Swift concert, let's say.
I don't think.
I know
Taylor-
you'd rather go to a Taylor Swift concert than watch a Tottenham game.
Oh, 100%. I love Taylor Swift. I don't think Taylor Swift would lower her standards to go there. But like, even the stadium is cursed because Anthony Joshua went there as a 2-time world champion, and
Yeah.
since he's been there, he lost all of his belts, and I don't think he's won a fight apart from that one he the one he fought. Sorry, against that guy that I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
He beat him up, and then he went back into the ring with. Didn't he
Usyk.
get beat by Dubois, and he's got beat by Usyk, and he's just get beat by everybody now, hasn't he?
I mean, Joshua's lost
He's
a
had two
fair
wins.
few fights.
He beat Wellens, and he beat
Richie Wellings, isn't he a central midfielder?
Are you on
So
about
wonder if-
Joshua?
yeah,
Oh,
Joshua.
no
he
wonder he
beat
won
the
that
MMA
fucking
fighter,
fight.
didn't he? Nagano.
Ngannou, yeah.
That's the one I was
no,
on
no,
about.
he actually beat two actual boxers. Then he fought Ngannou. And the weird thing about the Ngannou fight was
The fact that he's not a boxer.
no, hang on. Take boxing and everything out of it. Ngannou is one hell of a tough guy. No one has ever rocked him. He's had kicks in the head. He's had people punch him in 4-ounce gloves, and he's never been rocked the way that Joshua hit him. When Joshua hit him and it rocked him, that was unreal. So you're talking about one of the toughest guys in fighting. So just any fighting sport, he is one of the toughest blokes in that. And Joshua absolutely rattled him, knocked him out.
Joshua didn't lose to Dubois because of the fighting. He lost because of the coaching and the advice he got given. Because I can't remember who it was, but you listened on the commentary and he said they heard Joshua's corner give him advice, and it was like, you've got to go for the jab or something like that and go for the uppercut and stuff like that. And the guy on commentary goes, that's absolutely terrible advice. As soon as he does that, Dubois is just going to turn around, hit him and knock him out. And within like 30 seconds, that's exactly what happened. So for me, he said, the commentator said, the corner's just giving him absolutely terrible advice on how to fight.
I think it also helps that Dubois is very powerful and tenacious.
I mean, that does help.
And just went for it.
Yeah.
I stopped watching heavyweight boxing when all the faff came out about Joshua and Tyson Fury. We're fighting, we're not fighting. We're fighting, we're not fighting. We're fighting, we're not fighting. We're fighting, we're not. I'm like, do you know what? If you're not going to fucking face each other, I believe, from what I've heard and read and one thing and another, I believe Joshua was willing to get in the ring with Fury.
I believe that as well.
I do not believe that Fury was willing to get into the ring.
There's plenty of evidence. Now, what you've got to remember is you've got a lot of Fury happy clappers out there.
Of course you are.
You've got a lot of happy clappers who still think that Fury won that second fight against Usyk. There was nothing in it.
I haven't seen any of it.
He was nowhere near winning. Fury was nowhere near winning.
He was closer than the scorecards.
Bollocks.
No, he was closer than the scorecards.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I have no interest in boxing anymore.
They used AI reffing for the first time ever. Now, AI reffing judges on everything that you score points on. So that not opinion, not, I think that he did well, or I feel that he did well. His question was, dick, the AI works on facts. And as I pointed out to that stupid Italian bloke the other day on Facebook, just because you're a fan of a club that a player plays for doesn't mean that stats don't tell the truth. Facts are facts. Now, AI works on facts. Was this point scored because of this thing, and this thing? If the criteria matches, yes, point awarded. The AI had it at a 6-point gap. Not a 4-point gap like the judges.
Towards
6 points.
Usyk.
Usyk battered him.
Okay. I didn't watch it. I haven't even seen highlights.
What you've also got to remember is a lot of happy clappers and your people who think they're boxing connoisseurs, when they hear the bang, a glove hits a glove, they get all excited. Well, he's just hit the side of he's hit him, but his glove's up, so it's glove on glove. Sounds really good. There's nothing in it.
No.
So when Fury was swinging some of his punches and Usyk blocked it, you hear the bang and the fans are all getting excited. Fury hasn't even landed a hit. The AI picks up on this. The AI scores it for real world. Not, I think he might have hit him, so I'm going to give him a point. Facts. AI put Usyk at a massive win. Right? Usyk won that fight convincingly. Happy clappers. Fury. Now the problem is Fury likes his happy clappers.
This is why he needs to be on camera. I swear to God, he needs to be on camera.
But Fury likes his happy clappers, and he appeals to the happy clappers because he stands there giving it I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'll fight them all. They're all bums. I'll fight them for free. I'll knock them all out. All right, fight me. I want 700 million, or I'm not going to get in the ring. Thought he didn't want money. Yeah, well, he makes excuses. He made excuses to dodge David Haye.
Yeah, see, that's why I stopped then.
He made excuses to duck David Haye until David Haye injured himself, and then was like, oh yeah, he just want to fight me. Actually, mate, you've ducked him twice. They even got to the point. And then with Klitschko, he beat Klitschko, and he absolutely decimated Klitschko. I don't know what was going on, but Klitschko didn't look like Klitschko, but there was a rematch. And then that got ducked, and then that got ducked. And, I've done this injury, and I've done this injury. Because he didn't want to fight Klitschko. And Klitschko got bored and went and fought Joshua instead. Because real fighters find fights.
That was a decent fight.
That was a cracking
You know what?
fight.
Joshua Klitschko
that is still
fight, I
one of my
enjoyed that.
favourite fights to watch.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic fight. And I didn't have a dog in the fight. I like them both. I liked them both.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, I'd rather Joshua win because he's English, but you know.
So when it comes to boxing
I
and
mean,
fighting,
that doesn't always work because I wanted Usyk to win because I didn't want Fury to beat him.
Yeah, but that's different though. At the time, I didn't dislike Joshua. I do now.
I'm a
'cause of
fighter
what he's
fan.
done,
I
but-
support the fighter rather than what nationality they are. With national sports, I get it. When you're
generally,
following a
I'll just
national
go for the,
sport like rugby, football, you can support that because it's your national team. There's no nationalities in boxing. It's a bit like tennis. You don't really have that nationality thing, do you? Unless it's like for the Olympics. You fight for yourself.
Oh, no, you do, because I remember, if I'm right, I remember Andy Murray coming out saying, I'm not British, I'm Scottish. Oh, fuck off then,
No,
mate.
he
I'm
actually
not
said,
British.
I'm not English, I'm Scottish.
I thought you said I'm not British, I'm
No,
Scottish.
it was-
I don't want to be like lumped in with the other guys.
No, I'm
It's-
pretty sure he said English.
Here's another one that I'll say as well.
Oh, in which case
Jake
he was right.
Paul is a better boxer than people make him out to be. People say he's just a YouTube boxer, which he may have started off, but he's had enough fights with enough people that
Oh, haven't they all
there
been
are people
staged, though?
out there that may come out and knock him out. But why aren't these fighters taking his fight?
No,
I think
because
it's
they're
staged.
scared
No.
that if they
I think
lose,
it's staged.
They're not.
It could
He's
be.
fought one... right. If you watch the Tyson fight, 4 or 5 times he pulls out of punching him. 4 or 5 times he
I've
goes for a
seen
punch
them.
and he stops. He stops. Tyson
Yeah.
could have beat him. Now, the only time he's ever fought a real boxer... I want to point something out. When I point out
Are you gonna
real boxer,
Tommy
he fought
Fury.
an amateur. Tommy Fury is not
Yeah.
a professional boxer. He's
Yeah.
an amateur fighter.
Yeah.
And he beat him convincingly. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, the pair of them are not good boxers. The fact that they...
I mean, fair play to him for getting in the ring.
Absolutely.
Because they're still taking
You know what?
shots.
It takes a lot of bollocks
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get in
yeah.
the
They're
ring.
still taking
So
shots.
fair
I mean, I
play
don't
to them
like
for
either
that.
one of them, but
So fair play to them for that. Actually, you know what? Sometimes they say... They're like that horrible thing that sometimes they'll actually say something. You have to go, I kind of agree with them on that. But in the boxing world, they're a dangerous thing because one day they're going to fight... Rather than, I'm going to fight this pensioner, I'm going to fight this pensioner. They're going to fight someone proper and they're going to get hurt. And then who's the victim there?
So
Who's going to look bad? It's going to be the boxing world that's going to look bad. If he gets in the
Yeah.
ring, because Carl Froch's calling him out, Bellew's called him out. Either of those two get in the ring with him, they're
I
going to ambulance him.
I think
I think they
Froch
probably
really wants that guy in
Do you
the
know
ring
why?
as well, because I think he wants to
because he
hurt him.
won't.
Absolutely. Froch doesn't want to fight him to be a payday. People's like, oh, he wants a payday. No, he wants to shut him up.
End the
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wants to get rid,
speculation.
because at some point somebody is going to get hurt. And I don't just mean like, oh, he's waking up for a week with a broken jaw. We're talking someone's going to like fucking
Hurt.
get really severely
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah. I can see it happening. I can see it
I mean,
happening.
I do agree with what you're saying because you saw Mike Tyson.
He's mates with
train
Mike Tyson.
and how quick he was fight, and then he went slow.
Yeah, the thing
And
is,
it's like, why
he
is
an
he
old
so
man.
slow? He is an old.
You've got to give him to it. But there was 1 or 2 times where he's opened Paul up, he's brought the uppercut in,
And just pulled
just as
back.
he's gone, he stops.
There was once as well where I've seen where Jake Paul had tapped him on the shoulder with his glove, I saw.
Yeah.
And you could see Tyson sort of go towards him as if he was trying to say something.
Yeah. Well, apparently,
And I'm like, that
someone,
looked like... I
again,
think
it's-
Tyson's hit him a bit hard there and he's gone, fucking ease up, mate.
Yeah,
This
I
isn't
think
part of it.
there was
It makes you
I
wonder:
don't know.
is it staged?
I think some
I
of it is.
think it
I don't
might
give a
well
fuck how
be.
old Tyson is. I would not want to take a proper punch off that guy
No.
because he'd kill me. Even at 60,
Well, they
I'd be
changed
dead.
all the gloves and stuff, didn't they?
There was a lot
for
of weird
it.
stuff. There was a lot.
You'd have to, though, wouldn't you? Tyson's
But-
a fucking monster.
Like I say, for me, it looked a bit staged. It looked weird. There was something wrong with that fight. But when
I
real
worry-
people call Jake Paul out, he goes quite... Who was it? Someone actually called him out.
I haven't
know.
heard him say anything about
No,
Froch, by the way.
So, Jake Paul had a fight cancel, and Chris Eubank Jr. said, I've got a fight next week, but I'll fight you tomorrow. I'll stand in for you, no problem. All of a sudden, the guy who can't shut up on social media,
Yeah.
Radio silence.
I don't think I'd like to stand in with him in a ring either because he looks. He looks.
yeah, Eubank Jr. is a decent fighter. He's not
Yeah.
great.
He's not great because
fighter.
he's.
You don't need to be when you're
he's
fucking
lost.
brought up on YouTube.
But I mean,
He's going
you
to
don't need
demolish.
you don't need a world class
the thing
fighter.
is, when we were watching, when I was watching Anthony Joshua before the whole statement he made. I'm not going to go into it on the...
Yeah.
You can go into it if you want to.
No, it's okay. I'll keep diplomatic.
I'm
But
not
before
supposed
then,
to
I was
give your
quite
opinions.
a big fan of Joshua, and I enjoyed watching his career progress.
I was, and that's when I went off. And during the whole
And-
COVID thing, when he was
yeah.
out in the streets.
Yeah, and when we were watching it, the undercard was always to people like Chris Eubanks Jr., Conor Benn, and it was quite exciting to see where their careers were going. And
Then
you
you had all
also
that
had,
shit with Conor Benn, didn't you? And
Yeah.
the
and you had
testing and all that.
Katie Taylor as well. I mean, she's a bit
She's an
ruthless.
animal. She is.
She's a
Fucking hell.
Good fighter. Very good fighter. I like Katie.
Man, that is one woman you would not want to piss
I mean,
off.
that was a great
Holy
fight on
crap.
the undercard for the Tyson Paul
Yeah.
fight.
You know what annoyed me though? With it
Everything.
What looked, but because it looked more like a stitch job. Katie Taylor, prior to the fight, had said she was willing to bet. She took a deal with Paul about it. She would bet her winnings if Tyson beats her.
Yeah.
And then to see what looks like quite a staged fight was sort of like, it's a bit.
Yeah, I didn't watch the fight because I
was
didn't
poor.
think it was
It
a
was
fight.
I think I
Paul.
just don't want
But
it to
I've
be
seen-
staged, and I hope that
you know,
he's
nobody,
better than
nobody
he is.
wanted it to
No,
be.
you know what? If you beat him, you beat him. Congratulations, you beat under the pension.
Right, let me tell you. I don't care how old Tyson is. He's hurting people.
He only threw something like 47 punches in the whole
Mike
fight.
Tyson,
Yeah.
the most aggressive man in history. Yeah, okay, pull the other one. How many did he back out of? 90?
He definitely
100?
He definitely pulled out of at least 4.
I bet there was fucking loads more.
Probably.
Loads more. This is the... I know he's 60. I get it, and I understand the age. I'm 43. I creak walking up the stairs. I understand what age does to you. But this is Mike Tyson. He's not a normal human being.
Yeah.
He wasn't a normal human being when he was 25. He's not a fucking normal human being now. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
The guy is hard as fuck. I don't care how long you've been training. If he hits you, and I mean hits you, you're going to fucking know about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Paul, I don't care what your fucking name is. If you get hit properly by
I thought you were going to
Tyson,
say RuPaul.
you're going down.
Yeah.
So there's no way Tyson actually put any effort into any of them punches because 60 or not, that guy's still got ferocious power.
I think the problem is everybody wanted it to be a real fight.
Of course they did because they wanted to see Paul get hurt. Whichever Paul it was.
And I
can't
guess
remember.
where I say...
Jake Paul, Jake.
And I guess I want to say, is Jake Paul actually a good boxer or not? Because he's trained. He
You have to say he's a good
No,
boxer.
he is. He's,
Not,
right,
he's
so-
not class. He's not brilliant. He's never going to be world champion. But yeah, he's
But
a good
it's-
boxer
but
because
it's
he's
the
going
whole
in
part.
against...
I will tell you the level he's at. He's at what we call a journeyman level. So
I would agree with
So
that.
you know when you get your new professional fighter, the next big thing, and they get him in the ring and they go against some bloke you've never heard of.
Yeah,
who's
but
got
he's had like
42
80 fucking
he's got
fights
42
and
fights to
he's
his
lost
name.
76 of them or whatever.
And yet he's lost most of them. But what you realise is they've got amazing defensibility
Yeah.
because they're so used to taking the hits because they know what to look for, but not really there to
They're
win
not
the
gonna-
fight.
they're not gonna hurt you, man.
They're there to sort of bulk the numbers up. They're a professional fighter. These are good boxers. Against anyone else, they're going to cream you. They're going to absolutely batter you.
Of course they are.
But they're never going to tie you.
And they're getting a nice payday.
Yeah, but
So
they're
they're
never,
okay with it.
They are professionals. That is their living. But they're never going to win a title. They're never going to challenge for a title. They're never going to see the top 10.
Yeah.
But these are still professional fighters. They're still in the top 200 fighters in the world.
He's still taking a
So
good
Jake
hit
Paul,
off fucking people.
absolutely. Jake Paul is in the top 200 boxers of his weight division in the world. I would probably even say he's probably in the top 100 of his weight. That's about as far as I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
has
but-
got skill.
Is that not like...
Do you think any part of these fighters that call him out a little bit, say Carl Froch or Tony Bellew, you know, the ones that you want to see them fight Jake Paul, do you think any part of them like sits there and thinks, what if he actually beats me?
No.
No. Not even for a second.
You think they're that
No.
confident that
Oh,
they will
100%.
do it?
Carl
100%.
Froch didn't get in the ring with Andre Ward and go, this guy might be better than me and beat me. No, he went out there, fighting arguably at the time the best pound for pound boxer in the world, with the thought, I'm going to hurt this guy and beat him.
I mean, the Carl Froch fights that I think of is when he was fighting George Groves. I mean, they were
Some great fights.
sensational fights.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was massive
Right.
Carl Froch
Okay,
fight.
now take Groves out of that ring and put Paul in there.
He's getting creamed.
It gets destroyed.
Oh,
but
yes.
But that was
but
10
Froch's been out 10 years. That's
But I
Yeah.
or more.
But the thing
I
is,
think once you've
watched-
got
Does
to
he
that
still
level,
train?
he's still trained. Froch still
oh,
trained.
have you
You're
seen the
asking
shape of the
him at
guy?
home. Yeah, the
Have you
guy's
seen him on telly?
phenomenal. That
There's
guy's
no
in
way that guy's been
phenomenal
at home
shape.
eating fucking pizzas.
Yeah.
He's
Not
in
a chance.
phenomenal shape.
That guy's still in the gym
Carl
every day.
Froch obliterates Jake Paul. Obliterates him.
Yeah, because I don't think he's
But
going to
again,
take that bullshit about
no,
having a payday and being nice.
No, he's not.
But the weird thing
That's
is...
because people like Bellew and Carl Froch, they're real fighters. They're world champions.
Oh, they've got real
They're
mentality
world
as well.
champions with that. I'm going to hurt this guy. You've heard them both comment on the whole. What I said. Somebody's going to get hurt. This needs to stop. It needs to be brought back into the professional world, not this YouTuber world. It needs to be brought back.
I agree.
And
completely.
I think the reason those two are so willing to have the fight isn't because they want the payday. They're getting enough money from going and doing shows and stuff. They want to stop this guy. They want to put him in his place. They want to hit him hard. They want to put him on his arse. And they want him to realise, you know what? I can fight old men. I can fight MMA fighters in boxing. But I can't fight real fighters.
I mean, David
This,
Hay
this
was
is
a
definitely
cracking
this has
fighter.
definitely gone off the topic of football,
Yeah.
by the way. But
David Hay was a
I'm quite enjoying
cracking fighter.
I
I think
enjoyed
David Hay was
David Hay.
pretty good.
And I think that overall, David Hay was probably the better fighter, or should have been the better fighter than Tony Bellew. But I think Tony Bellew's training camp and his ability
I think
knew
Bellew-
how to beat.
I think Bellew was a
him.
better fighter. I mean, it was proven by the fights, but
Yeah,
I think a lot of people overlooked Bellew. And
Yeah.
the problem is a lot of cruiserweights are overlooked. A lot of people were overlooking Usyk. No one really noticed who Usyk was until he decided to step up. Despite the fact that at the time,
And how?
completely and totally destroyed the cruiserweight. His next fight...
well, it was Tony Bellew who won it because he absolutely
Oh.
destroyed him. I mean, what a fight! I mean, I wanted Bellew to win that fight, but my word,
What time is it?
what a
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this up soon, boys, because I'm up at 11 and it's now 7:10.
Okay, so I'm going to finish it
Yeah.
very quickly. So, you've got a fighter called Gilberto Ramirez, who is the current cruiserweight title holder. He is a phenomenal boxer. Most people don't know who he is. Usyk is more...
I've just googled it
Have ya?
because I don't know the fuck. Just as you said that, I'm like, fuck. I'm just on Google.
I have seen that Usyk wants to come back down.
Yeah, because for Usyk, the next best fight is Ramirez. Usyk, will tell you now, will probably be, if they get it on this year, it will be the fight of the year. But
Okay, yeah,
because he's
seems
not a
quite
heavyweight, people don't pay attention. Bellew, people knew who he was, but no one really paid attention to him. Bellew is a fantastic boxer, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
And when he stepped up to fight Hay, everyone automatically
He had a
assumed
game plan.
Hay was
He
going
was
to win.
quick.
Not a chance.
Hay couldn't hit him. If Hay hit, I mean, Bellew said it. He said, if Hay hits me, I'm going to be in trouble. But he basically went with a game plan. He can't hit me.
Yep.
He can't win.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did.
Well, what you got to remember is Hay rocked Valuev.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He broke his hand
Well, that's one
on
of
that giant man's head.
That's
and
one of
rocked
them,
his
isn't
world.
it? Valuev can't beat Hay if he can't hit him, and that's what Hay did. Because Valuev was a hell of a lot bigger fighter.
Oh, yeah. That was like...
Bit like
anyone trying to
Klitschko.
fight
Don't get hit by
Andre the
Klitschko.
Giant.
Don't get hit by Klitschko.
He
You're
was a
not gonna
beast as well, wasn't he? In his day,
I mean,
Klitschko,
both
Jesus
of them.
Christ, both of them.
were
There was
I
two
mean,
of them,
you
they were both
really
monsters.
wanted them to fight each other, didn't you? The
They
brothers,
never were
but
going
they never
to.
would.
They were never going
They
to.
wouldn't want to hurt each other.
Actually, they
Which
actually
is good.
stated it was for their mom. Their mom didn't want them to fight each other, so they wouldn't fight each other.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Fair play. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that would have been... I bet if you could find footage of those two sparring, because I bet they sparred, that'd be
Oh
amazing.
yeah,
I'd
I bet they
love
hurt
to watch.
each other as well.
Of course they did. They're brothers.
Yeah, I bet they hurt each other. Right, I think what we're going to do is going to wrap it up so I can at least get a couple of hours sleep before I have to drive all over the Midlands tomorrow. So yeah, that we did get a bit off track, but I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Chat about boxing actually,
Yeah.
even though it's just something a little bit different for everybody. Who knows? You might like it, you might not. I'm sure you'll let us know in the comments.
Those who were waiting for us to go back to the football were a bit disappointed.
Okay,
Could be
now.
very
very quickly
disappointed.
then, I just want to say Vinicius Junior is a child. He's a perpetual little child. He's a perpetual little whiner, and anyone who thinks that he should have won the Ballon d'Or is an idiot.
See you next week.